Good to go.
Awesome. Welcome, everybody, to our little Sunday gathering. We are Global Strangeness, three strangers who came together with a love of the paranormal, folklore, spooky stuff. And we are on the countdown to Halloween, our favorite time. And we decided our topic for this week was going to be a countdown of our favorite scary movies. Pretty fitting. Hopefully you guys get some ideas for some stuff to watch this week, leading up to the 31st. So we're going to go one for one all through our lists. So do you want me to just start it off with my number 10?
Do you have any
please.
rules for picking your movie? Like any of your movies? Are there any things that aren't like horror movies to you?
Well, there's one that's kind of because I was kind of curious about that because one's kind of a horror / sci-fi. Like for me, the way I figured it out was whether it disturbed me into the next day or so, or like, after the movie. So it doesn't really matter. I didn't think what genre, if technically it's horror or not, but if it's like scared me. So basically I went, if you're scared the shit out of you, it's on the list. What about you guys? Did you have any parameters?
I'll go over
Nope.
mine before my first 10. Yes, I did have a list. I guess I got a little OCD about it.
See,
Took me a little time.
I'm just like, was I scared? Did it bother me? Did I think about it for a while after? Yeah, okay, it's on the list. So, okay, well, so number 10, the least kind of scary one, I put Ouija, the 2016 one, The Origin of Evil.
Okay.
That one made the list because, the Ouija board, so many people have, they get scared around that whole concept. Is it a portal? Is it just a, piece of cardboard and the thing? I have, when I was young, like fooled around just jokingly kind of thing. So, and I'm also Catholic, so it's got that kind of reputation around it. So it's good enough to scare me when people start messing around with them. I believe something could happen. I don't know. So what about
We're
you
not
guys?
allowed to own them. We're not allowed to own them.
See, there's like so many people have actual real fear around them. So when they make movies about it, it's like, okay, yeah.
Well, mine's more of a Hasbro sold out type. I'm just joking. I don't fuck with it. I'm just sharing the post to Facebook. And then, that's actually on my list as well. I won't tell you what number yet, but what did, I guess we should have talked more about it. I wrote like a synopsis of why I liked the movie, but I didn't want to give any spoilers away. I didn't want to get into any of the movies, so.
Okay, yeah, so we can give a little blurb, but if we're not doing that, then we'll hand it over to you. What was your number 10 then?
My number 10, well, first off, I gotta go over my rules here. We're not doing any apocalyptic or zombie movies because those are my favorite movies throughout the year. All the Christmas horror, we're going to be doing another top 10 Christmas horror list, so those don't get added in. And then movies like Black Friday and Thanksgiving, that obviously stays in the Thanksgiving time zone, so I didn't add any of those movies. And then Twister, Jaws, Alien, all of those types of movies are just sort of fun too. Didn't add any of those. And then The Purge. When I was doing the interviews, I got a lot of The Purge, and I personally see that more as an Independence Day movie myself. Right?
I see them more as a future documentary, but yeah.
Well, yeah, Independence Day, same with like Independence Day, the movie or something like that. This is my personal beliefs, though. I'm not trying to shit on anyone else's top 10 horror picks. Like I said, we had a bunch of people that said that. I had somebody who said Full Metal Jacket was the scariest movie they ever saw. Somebody said an anime. Somebody told me that they didn't watch movies and they only listened to Unsolved Case Files on Spotify. And then I got a lot of people that said I don't do scary movies. So I mean, I'm not here to judge. I did mine with those rules, and then for myself, I wanted to do what would be my favorite movie if I could watch it again for the first time? So that's kind of how I tried to, I don't know, like narrate this list. But for my top 10, I did the 1999 Blair Witch Project. So when I
Really?
first, yeah, and I just watched again last night. When I first saw this movie, I thought it wasn't the greatest movie in the world, but when I first saw it, at the time there was the rumor going around that this was actual found footage. I was like a freshman in high school or junior high or whatever. There was no way to fact check any of this stuff. So it wasn't the first found footage movie. Like I didn't see any found footage movies before that. They had the I guess it was the 1980s Cannibal Holocaust was the first, but then in 1978 they would later release a movie that was found footage before this. This was the first found movie footage I had ever seen. And then as we evolved in society, like the found footage stuff seemed more realistic.
Well,
right?
You skipped one of the first found footage movies, supposedly.
The Cannibal Holocaust.
Texas Chainsaw
Oh.
Massacre.
Right.
Well, I mean, was that ever like a real?
It was supposed to be in the beginning. In the beginning of the movie, like they do like a crime scene walkthrough after it's all done.
Yeah.
I'll get into that when we talk about one of my other movies, but I don't know, man. As it's grown on me, I really like it. It's got sort of that nostalgia theme to it, right? Like I was a 90s kid. This is sort of like a coming of age. These kids are out in the woods for the first time. Now I can see bringing cameras out into the woods and filming it and looking for a witch. It is like the first paranormal ghost hunting movie that relates to me. And then if you wanted to see the 2016 Blair Witch Project, that one was actually pretty good for any of the kids that are younger. You know, that there's more camera angles, there's drone shots, there's trail cam footage. It was pretty good too. But the Blair Witch Project for me has that nostalgia factor. Don't watch the Blair Witch Project 2. I'm gonna pass it on to Jeremy.
Well, I have no rules when I made this list, and you actually just made me add another movie to my list. And just so my number 10 is a 3-way tie, and my number 9 is a 2-way tie because I couldn't break it down to 10 movies. There's no way in hell.
Cheater.
Well, I kind of
Alright.
cheated in some. He
Alright.
saw my hacked
Yeah.
footage.
So, and I will say the best found footage movie ever, it's not my list, but the best found footage movie ever is Willow Creek. It's a Bigfoot found footage movie.
I haven't seen it.
I've never seen that. I'm gonna write that down.
It's directed by Bobcat Goldthwait, who is a huge cryptozoologist loving movie director, and it's amazing. It's you never see a Bigfoot. That's the funny part. You never see a Bigfoot, but it's about a couple that goes camping in the woods, and once it gets dark, they start having their tent attacked by something. So,
Okay.
but my number 10 is a 3-way tie because it was a 2-way tie, but Scott just made me change that.
Oh,
And-
you better not be Blair Witch Project 2. I swear.
Oh,
to God.
If we did a
Okay.
if we did a top 100 list, Blair Witch Project wouldn't make my top 100 list.
Okay.
I refuse to watch that movie because the trailer looked like the stupidest shit ever. The freaking girl crying into the freaking camera. Come on. it
Hey,
looks so
hey, hold
stupid.
on.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But
I had the movie posters pulled up. You could have saw a better example.
my number 10 is the first one. My first number 10 in the 3-way split is Salem's Lot, the original Salem's Lot,
That's good. Yeah.
with my boy, I forget with Starsky. But it was Starsky, right? Or was it Hutch?
I would only have watched that movie if it was Hutch. So
Yeah, it was Hutch. It was yeah, Hutch, the blonde one. Yeah. But my second 3-way tie movie, and this is from my boy DeAndre Robinson from Masturbators, because he introduced me to this movie and I love it. And it's based on the Native American legend, coyote legend of Vagina dentatum. It's called Teeth.
Never
And-
seen
and
that one either.
And you should. And it made my friend DeAndre not have sex for 6 months after he watched it.
That's gotta be scary.
Is this like your gnome adult film compilation type stuff? here?
No, nope. It's
Or
a real horror
Bigfoot,
movie based.
Bigfoot, I'm sorry.
It's a real horror movie based on a Native American legend, and it's also similar legends all around the world based on the same thing. Basically, it's vagina with teeth, but
Pretty-
and it's and this is the one that Scott made me bring into my three-way tie for 10, and it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake they did in with where the sheriff's played by the guy from Saving Silverman. Like,
No,
I like
I'm
the-
not saving Silverman, dude. It was from Full Metal Jacket. We already talked
Oh,
about this movie.
each from Saving Silverman too. the
Okay.
guy in them. But
Gotcha.
and it's the version where they play Freebird in the beginning. But
Yeah,
I love that take. I like that one better than the original one.
we
People-
might get
yeah,
to
me-
that later.
People hated me for that, but I like that version better than the original version in the 70s. So,
Yeah, the original version of the 70s sucked ass.
oh, if you were on my hard movie bracket earlier today, you would have had a huge argument on that one. But my boy Chancey, you just met, would have a huge problem with that right there. But he gave me shit for saying it already. But
Well, we gotta help him with his music. Your whole group there with their musical upbringing too.
well,
That was 3.
anytime you want to, yeah, that's 3. And Scott, anytime you want to come on traditional episode of Maniacal Music Musings and bring an album, you gladly can.
Yeah, no, only if I can bring an album.
Oh, well, on traditional episodes, you get to bring your own album. So yeah.
Okay, I'll bring an album next time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bracket shows are not the normal shows. Those are just specials we do twice a month.
I had no idea what the hell we were doing. But shout out to
I
your
know.
show over there.
I should have gave you more warning, but you did you did good for not knowing what the hell was going on. So
I'll have to watch it. I'll have to get to replay, see how it went.
yep. Well, that's my number 10. So
So
what's
okay,
your number 9 there?
number 9. So you guys might cry about this, but I put Paranormal Activity, the first one. Obviously, the first one's out. Whatever. It made me scared.
Ah,
It's on my list.
I got some stuff
Yeah.
to say, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, well, I mean the first one, because I don't know, I just saw it like every single series that comes out. The first one's always kind of scary because it's new. You haven't seen anything kind of filmed that way in particular. So after they make 2, 3, 4 movies, you got it by then, so it's no longer scary. But yeah, the first one, yeah, I think I was scared that night.
No,
So
Yeah,
okay.
I had to watch that
Jeremy?
movie about a couple weeks ago, and I will say Paranormal Activity is fucking horrible. It's so
We'll
horrible.
have some stuff to say about Paranormal Activity, maybe.
They throw
Yeah.
shit around like
Maybe.
people getting thrown around by invisible forces. Come on now. I mean,
I got
that
it.
stuff happens in real life, but come on.
27-minute long speech. Okay, we'll get there.
like when she's standing there over the bed staring, like, that's creepy. It's fucking creepy to see that on your camera. I don't know. Okay, well, one up me then. What do you guys got?
I got your exact number 10. So number 9 for me is the 2016 Ouija's Origin Evil. The 2014 one was good, the original one. This was
Yeah.
a prequel. It did have like what I will say about these is they're kind of family friendly horror movies, right? And for me, it's got that nostalgia factor where it sort of puts it back to like the 60s when my parents were kids. So, if you've watched Christmas Story or any of these movies, I don't know. It was a good one. I thought it uses all the horror tropes right. So we got a scary little girl. We got weird ass noises happening. It was done pretty good. If anybody hasn't seen those, obviously, probably on all of our lists except Jeremy's, most people will have seen them.
Well, put it this way. I had to watch the 104 top movies from Rotten Tomatoes that are horror movies. And none of the Ouija movies were on that
Rotten
list.
Tomatoes, man. Come on.
Well, that's what DeAndre uses on Masturbators because, as he says, I did not make these rankings. Blame Rotten Tomatoes.
I've blamed Rotten Tomatoes before I knew about it.
Well, my number 9 is a two-way tie because the first one I was going to be my number 9 regardless, but my second one I thought of at the last minute I had to add in. First one is Don't Breathe.
Don't Breathe. I
pretty
know
good.
this movie. I know give me a
It's-
rundown without spoilers.
It's a group of kids who break into homes to make money, and they happen to break into a blind man's house, and I'll leave it
Okay.
at that.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Yeah,
It was pretty good.
Not my top 10.
It made my top 10 because out of the 104 movies I watched, it was actually one of the ones that stuck with me the most, and I actually liked it because at first you feel bad for the blind man, but then with the events of the movie, you don't.
Oh, I said no spoilers, buddy.
There's no
No
spoilers in that. I
spoilers.
didn't say what happened.
Just gave the
Oh,
whole damn movie
Everyone's
away.
seen these anyway. That's all good.
Yeah, seriously, these are none of these are like 2022 movies or 2021 movies. So
Okay,
This on
from
mine.
now on, anybody watching, there's going to be some heavy spoilers in this.
If you haven't seen it, just have quite a few drinks and forget this conversation. You're fine.
and the other one that's my number 9 because I had to add in because I thought of it late was The Conjuring 2.
Yeah.
Because the first Conjuring is bullshit. I know all the stories behind The Conjuring. I know the real stories, and the first Conjuring is just horribly made of the real story. I love.
We're going to stop Jeremy there. Deborah's number 8.
Shut up. I love Patrick Wilson. I love Vera Farmiga as Lorraine Warren in both those movies. They do their roles perfectly. It's the whole rest of the first Conjuring I hate. But the second Conjuring did an amazing job telling the true story of what happened in England in that house. And you want to talk about a creepy little girl and creepy voices? Yeah, that's the movie right there.
Might
Yeah.
have something to say. Might have something to say.
But that's my number 9. So
Fight is
after
on.
after this, they're all single movies. But Deborah, what's your number 8?
Okay, well, number 8, I came in with Annabelle, the 2014 one. I thought it was pretty creepy. I mean, it all kind of ties in. I don't know. I liked how they tied in the Charles Manson kind of twist. I don't know if that's if I'm spoiling too much or whatever, but when you see somebody creeping around in the background of the house, I was like, oh. Not to mention, I had a Raggedy Ann doll. So the Annabelle in the movie looks really actually freaky, but the real one's a Raggedy Ann doll. So I don't know, the whole thought of a haunted doll. I'm a girl, I have dolls. I don't know. I thought it was good. I liked it. I stand by it.
I don't want to like say anything about any of these, because then it's. Well, I guess that gave it away. Maybe some of these are on my list.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Well, hopefully
what's
we
your number-
overlap. Yeah, some of them. Anyways, then it's a good show. If it's on all 3 of ours, that's the winner.
Exactly.
Okay, we going to my number 8.
Yeah.
Yes,
what
we
do you
are.
got?
Okay. So normally I'm not a slasher fan. This one kind of came out this came out right when I was having kids. 2006's The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh,
And I lived in that desert. They say it's New Mexico. That's the desert I grew up in. So it just holds a special place for the Mojave Desert, for anyone who grew up in there with mountain people out in the middle of the desert. Love it, man. I love it. Like, it's tense the whole way through. Do not watch the one from the 1977 version unless you want to watch a bunch of hillbillies chasing after like a Dukes of Hazzard style old school movie. But the 2006 one is creepy. You've got mutants. You've got just suspense the whole friggin' way through. I have not seen the second one yet, but
and the scene the first one opens with, oh my God,
oh man, it's good. It's great.
it's gruesome. But
Go on, Deborah.
Oh, that one almost made my list. That was a real kind of toss up with another. I was like, oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Just
nah,
do not watch the 1977. Well, watch the 1977 version as a goof. That'll be fun.
well, That didn't
Imagine
make my list at
people who
all.
didn't make it to a John Wayne movie.
well, my number 8 is, I guarantee no one else heard of it on this panel, but I guarantee it's an amazing movie everybody should see. And I only just watched it a couple weeks ago for the first, like maybe a month ago now for the first time. Came out, I believe, in 2018, and it's a horror Western movie. It's called Bone Tomahawk.
Writing it down.
Bone
is a-
Tomahawk. That's
And it actually has a paranormal storyline to it, kind of, because it's about a forgotten subspecies of Native Americans
Hmm.
who are very cannibalistic.
Does it get into any of the Wendigo or
No, it's got nothing to do with.
okay?
Nope. But it's about a forgotten species of a forgotten race of Native Americans that even the Native Americans are scared of. So
Interesting.
it
Yeah,
was an
check that
amazing
out.
movie, and Sid Haig is in it. Captain Spaulding from Rob Zombie's trilogy. He's in it. He's in it for a few minutes in the first scene, and it's got a lot of other.
Is
it's got
it
Patrick
a
Wilson.
Rob Zombie movie?
No, it's not. I don't think
Okay.
so. At least I'm pretty sure it's not. But it's also got Patrick Wilson in it. Speaking of him and Ed Warren, he's also in it as well.
He is in every, like, he's in
He is.
Insidious. He's in The Conjuring. The same with the lady that's in the.
Vera
Well, I think
Farmiga,
she's in
yeah.
Ouija. Is she in Conjuring? But she's in Insidious too.
She was on Bates Motel for years as Norman Bates' mother, Norma Bates.
Right.
So
Yeah.
she's an amazing actress, and she was in The Departed. Not a horror movie,
She's-
but still a good movie.
She's like the queen of horror. I know they
Yeah.
want to try to say the Halloween girl is, but last movie I saw, or TV show I saw her in, was New Girl as Jess's mom. So
No, she's also been in
and
3
Freaky
Halloween movies.
Friday.
She's been in 3 Halloween movies in the last like 4 years, but yeah.
Yeah.
Halloween Kills and Halloween End. She's been in those in the last 4 years.
Some of those take place during Christmas. We already had this discussion.
Get your rules. A little. This one, I just Googled this Bone Tomahawk. It looks really westerny. I think I would like
It
it,
is.
actually.
It's
I
very
watched it.
westerny, but
Yeah.
it's very westerny, but with a horror element.
Yeah, no, I'd like that. I'm down.
And it's about survival in the old West days as well. So that's horror in its own way. That's reality. That's reality horror from the past.
See, that might make it to my fun all year round movies, but I'll have to check it out.
Oh, it definitely could. It definitely could. Don't get me wrong.
Good.
Okay,
But
are we-
Deborah, what's your number 7?
number 7, I had The Orphan, the 2009.
Ooh.
That creeps me out. The thought of an adult pretending.
Oh, okay. I know
Oh,
which
to
one
be-
you're
oh.
talking about. Yeah.
And
Good
yeah,
way
just
to
creepy
spoil it,
ass.
but yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That
Oh.
was a true story too, wasn't it?
It's a true story. Yeah, it's totally
Yeah.
creepy. God.
That was a good
Anyways.
one.
Yeah, that freaked me out a little. Yeah. What about you?
My number 7 was Trick or Treat. Not
Ooh,
really a
classic.
scary movie, but it is very Halloween-y. Like, it's a must-see Halloween movie. Not for the kids, but you get to see it from the kids' perspective, the teenage perspective, the adult perspective, and the monster perspective. So just a great all-time Halloween movie. It would have made it higher, but it
Well-
wasn't a horror movie. It's a fun movie.
It's a classic. I mean, it's classic, but I don't consider it like a real horror movie. It's just a
Yeah.
kid. It's just at least you think it's a kid who likes to fill his bag with goodies like Santa Claus. But
Yeah.
but my number 7, and through this masturbator horror bracket, we're going to be doing this Friday live on Twitter and Facebook, where we discuss the outcome of the online polls for 104 horror movies. I learned about. I got to watch a bunch of Jordan Peele horror movies, and my number 7 is Us, because to me it is a very realistic horror movie about a whole society of doppelgangers living underground, waiting for their moment to come up and kill their above ground doppelgangers so they can take their place.
Ew.
Us. Jordan Peele.
Hmm. I
It-
like the
it's
I
a
like the
di-
concept. It sounds
It's because as I talked about this on my paranormal new normal horror movie bracket earlier today, but it's doppelgangers. Every time you hear stories of them, like true stories of them, people always say it's the creepiest thing ever because usually it's stories about like your friends being like, "Why were you such a dick to me the other day?" And you're like, "I never saw you the other day," and it's your doppelganger.
but they're never a
Or
nice
your-
person.
It's your evil twin, basically. It's your evil twin that exists. So
I
So
will
what
have.
happens- What happens if somebody comes up and there's like, "Oh, I saw you the other day. God, you were so fun. I loved you so much better." Does that mean you're the evil twin?
Then they stab you.
Yeah.
well,
We like
I
the
won't
other
give.
one better.
I mean, I don't want to give away spoilers, but it's a damn good movie.
If you liked that, I have a Christmas movie when we do our top 10 Christmas horror movie list that you'll like.
I've only ever heard of one Christmas horror movie, and that's Krampus.
Well, you better get on it, buddy. Come on now.
I
We
will
only
watch a
got,
shitload. I will
like,
watch a
9
shitload of them just to
weeks.
get ready for it. Oh, well, we also have a Christmas movie bracket coming up in Master Bears too, so I'll be watching a lot of Christmas movies coming up anyway.
Christmas Carol counts. I mean, that's the old tradition, right? Telling ghost
Oh yeah,
stories
that's
around the
okay. Oh
fire.
yeah,
Yeah,
I guess that counts.
but
Yeah,
is it scary
And I-
though?
and I guess there is
Yeah,
there
I got
is
some
there is
scary
like
ones.
there is like 5 or 6 Krampus movies out there. So,
Yeah.
No,
That's true.
yeah, okay, we'll get into that. Let's go.
but Deborah, you're number 6.
Well, forgive me, but it's the Blair Witch Project. Jeremy, it is scary. You know why it's scary? Is because
It's
it
based
just
on true
kind of
story.
plants the seed of what's there, and then your own imagination takes over, and it's always really scary when it's your own imagination. Like finding the guy's teeth, like just these little, tidbit things. I really like that because I'm very visual. So, and at the
Well-
time when that came out, we were like out doing a lot of fishing and hunting and stuff. So I was like out in the trees. So that one bothered me for quite a while when I was out in the bushes.
Well, I will say we just had this discussion on my other bracket I did today, and one of my friends, fellow podcasters who was on it, she grew up in Maryland near where that was supposed to take place, and according to her, it's based on a real legend about a witch living in the woods. So
Yeah.
I will say, I mean, they did a great job marketing it because, like, but my one Chancey was all pissed on the other one because, like, he was a little kid when it came out, like I was, and like he loved it, and then like later on he sees the girl that's supposedly died in the movie on Jay Leno, and he's like, "What? She's supposed to be dead."
See, that's what I was saying with mine, man. Is like we actually thought it was found
Yeah.
footage, but it
But
was
then that's
made
a
by
really good
college
movie.
kids. Yeah, made by college kids. No, there are no special effects in this
$10,000
movie,
budget.
and it's
$10,000
still
budget.
scary. And it's still scary.
Yeah.
I mean,
And the 2016 one isn't bad either. I know that had an actual movie budget, but like same concept, different technology, just as good. I think the first one was better.
yeah. Well, what's your number 6 there, Scott?
I'm gonna have to side with Deborah again. Paranormal Activity, and I have a funny story about this. This didn't actually make it to my list till like I think it was last year or the year before. But I had seen Paranormal Activity 2, and then I made my wife watch all of them with me, whenever they were free or whatever. So we watched them all out of order. By number 4, they seemed to have a budget, and then it seemed fairly good. But then it was last year or the year before for Christmas, I was watching the 3D version in the Oculus Rift of the Christmas episode, which I think is number 6. And that's when it all clicked that this was a storyline.
Oh.
And then I watched them again and like, yeah, dude, I mean, the storyline is there.
Yeah.
There's not, they're not giving you a lot in the first 2 or 3, but the storyline is there and it's solid, right? Like if your house was haunted and this was happening in your house, that's a realistic, good, scary story. I liked it.
Yeah, I like subtle stuff, right? Where it's just like, something's there, but really it's more what you're thinking it could be. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that kind of that always scares me more than if the person in a costume actually is there or whatever,
Well, you're waiting for it the whole movie and they don't
That's
give it
it,
to
you're-
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. You're always just sitting there expecting it. So yeah.
So that's my number 6. I thought just watch them in order. Anybody who's watching this, just watch them in order. Because that's where I made my biggest F up. And thank God I didn't remember what they were about. So
What about
what's
you,
your number
Jeremy?
6,
Where are
Jeremy?
you at?
Well, thank you, alcohol. You could be a sponsor, but you're not. My number 6 is another Jordan.
Keystone.
It's Jordan Peele's. Oh, I couldn't drink that if you paid me, but Keystone Light I will if you pay us to sponsor you. But number
In
6
beer.
was the first Jordan Peele horror movie, and it's Get Out.
Oh,
And I know that one.
It's not traditional horror and like it's a monster or anything, but it is because it's racism horror.
I'm trying.
I'm looking
trying to
up
remember
the.
what movie that is. Is
Ba-
that when the
ba-
2 kids go into the neighbor's house?
No, it's when a young black man is dating a white woman, and she brings him home to the country to meet her family. And
Oh,
let's just say
yeah.
let's just say her family does nefarious deeds for those who haven't seen it, and you should watch it because Bradley Whitford is the dad, is like my favorite part of that movie, and my boy Lil Ray Howery as the main character's friend is that movie was good. I enjoyed that movie, and it is very just it's a great movie. It's a great movie. So
I didn't
not gonna-
see that one. I just watched.
you should see it. It's
Yeah, I saw
real-
it. I know what you're talking about. It is good. Yeah.
it's real life horror. It's not like made up monster horror. It's real life horror. Because something like that probably is happening somewhere in the world.
Yeah.
And even without like the racism element, it's still horror. Because just imagine having that happen. What happens that movie having that happen to you? Which, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't mind having a younger, better body, but let's just say leave it at that. So what's your number 5, Deborah?
So I'm going old school. Probably made most lists in the world, but The Exorcist. And that is one of the first ones that I saw when I was a little kid. So, and I wasn't supposed to be watching. So of course it scared me. And I still, possessions and demons and all that. That's nothing like that for a good scare, I think. So
See, that ain't making my list ever. I think The Exorcist is one of the dumbest movies ever.
yeah, well, I mean, again, so I just picked about what scared me, and because I watched it so young, it did scare me for a long, long time. And obviously, movie making's come a long way, but it's like I don't know, there's something nostalgic about it for me, for sure. It scared the crap out of me when I was a kid.
Maybe if I watched it when I was a kid, it would have more of an impact on me because I was brought up religious. So, but I was Protestant, so we didn't really have demons and possession and all that in Protestantism. Like
Yeah.
it's not like Catholicism, but still, I mean, maybe it would scare me more as a kid. I mean, I saw a scary movie too before I ever saw The Exorcist by like 20 years. So I saw the funny version of The Exorcist.
Right, yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, anyways, made my list. I am Catholic, so yeah, made my list.
So my number 5 came out in 1973.
Oh, I thought you
Let Jesus, going with The Exorcist.
Oh,
That's 2 down.
There
for
we go.
Number 5.
Bam.
That holds up to date, my friend. I don't know how you don't like that. I saw this as an adult. It still holds up.
I watched it a couple weeks ago and it was freaking boring as hell. I was falling asleep on the couch watching it.
Ah, man, you gotta watch it. You gotta
I
watch
did.
it. That movie is hands down still scary to this
It's
day.
not though, because I mean, I knew everything that was going to happen because it's been out for so long, and it's just not scary. Like it's just not. Like I believe in demons. Don't get me wrong. I believe in underworld beings out there, but I don't. I mean, that just
that
to me is not
movie
realistic.
does a better demon possession than most of the B movies that were made last year. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna stick up for it, dude. That movie, you have to imagine that you were watching this on a tubed TV for the first 30 plus years of its existence, right? So a lot of the kids, their big problem is, well, it looks fake. It looks fake. Not if your eyes are fucked up. Not if you're watching it on a tube TV. Shit looks real to me. Gotta go with The Exorcist.
Well, my number 5 is actually one of the. It's gonna break one of Scott's rules, but I don't give a shit. But my number 5 came out in 1975 and featured a fish named Bruce. My number 5 is Jaws.
Oh, Jiminy Crickets. Now we're
Because-
talking summertime movies.
No,
Oh,
because
no.
one, Jaws is a year-round movie. Do not get that wrong. And 2, Jaws.
Aren't they-
when I
Aren't
watched it
they
as like
in
a
Maine?
no.
Aren't they on the east
no.
coast of the country? That is not
They're-
an East
they
Coast
are.
movie, my friend.
They're not in Maine though. They're off the coast of I want to say it's
New Jersey. Yeah, Have you ever been to New Jersey when it's winter?
I grew up in New
Not
York,
year-round.
man.
Not
I
year
grew-
round.
I grew up in New York. Trust me, I know what Jersey summers look like. But
That is a 4th of July movie.
all right, no matter what time of year it is, I'll still watch it because I love all the Jaws movies, but I only put the first one on because it's a classic. The worst one is Jaws 3 because of the stupid water park, and the best one is Jaws 4: The Revenge, but because it's Michael Caine and it takes place in the Caribbean, and I love Caribbean waters because you can see what's on the bottom, so you don't have to worry
I
about
don't
shark.
remember that one.
Oh, if you haven't seen Jaws: The Revenge, watch it. It's an amazing movie. Basically,
like the
it's-
Jaws
Holding my
movies.
tongue. Yeah, they're
Jaws
great
are-
movies.
yeah, Jaws: The
So is
Revenge. gets-
Jurassic Park.
No, but they are. But I won't count those as horror because dinosaurs are not coming back to life anytime soon. At least I hope not. But besides the Thunderbirds that live out west and Macaulay and Bembe and the other ones in the Raptors in the Jungle of South America. But I will say that Jaws 4: The Revenge, Deborah, if you haven't seen it, watch it because 1, it's Michael Caine and Michael Caine's amazing, and 2, it's based on the storyline that every time they kill the shark, the next version of that shark follows the family.
Well,
So-
and I do like Jaws. And let's face it, Scott, if you're in the water and the big shark's after you, it's like horror. It'd be pretty scary.
It's horror.
scary.
I think the water is 30 degrees right now. I'm not getting in the water. Okay, this Halloween we're talking, right?
And great white sharks like cold water. So there you go. But
The Malibu Artist. Follow the Malibu Artist on YouTube, and you'll see great white sharks swimming around fishermen, boogie boarders, surfers, the whole 9 yards.
oh, I know they're harmless unless they're confused and they think you're a seal, but or something similar. But I will say, after watching Jaws as a preteen, I was afraid to jump into a swimming pool because I thought a shark was in the deep end. I literally would swim fast as hell off the diving board into the shallow end of the pool. So
See,
Jaws,
Okay,
we
so it
each
affected
have
you.
our own scary movies. We each have our-
but Jaws inflicted real life horror on me for a while, and I still will not go in oceans unless I can see the bottom. So
I grew up in California. I'm
okay.
more worried
Okay.
about needles on the beach than the sharks.
But Deborah, what's your number 4?
Okay, well, now that Scott's like scary movie chaining all of us, I'm going to do a tie. Because the first one I picked was that Dark Skies. so that's kind of sci-fi, but it's like freaky, that show. That actually that show actually concerned
Wait a
me.
minute.
Probably because I have
Dark,
sons.
I thought you were doing Jaws. What are you doing, Dark Skies?
Dark Skies. That's actually a pretty freaky show.
Wait a
And
minute, you talking about
then-
the TV show or the movie?
The movie.
Okay, I was saying like the TV show Dark Skies was mad good, but I thought we were doing movies.
Yeah, no, it's the movie. You've seen it, haven't you?
I think I have. I'm not sure.
I'll watch it. It's pretty creepy. And then so I tied that with The Silence of the Lambs because that's serial killer, pretty freaky stuff. I don't
I'll have to
know.
watch it.
You've never seen it?
I've never
I
seen
don't
it
remember.
either.
I don't
Oh,
remember.
Silence of the Lambs, my wife makes me watch. I've never seen Dark
Yeah.
Skies.
Silence of the Lambs is a damn good movie, but it's not horror. It's psychological thriller.
Yeah. So that's why I'm
Oh,
tying
now
two.
who's got
I'm tying
the
two with
rules,
or
right?
whatever.
Well,
I'm tying two
it's-
with the
no,
probably don't belong.
but-
I don't know.
Hey, but
Psychological thriller coming from Mr. Jaws over here. Give me a break.
hey, but guess what? Guess what won Masturbator's 104 hard movie tournament online on Facebook and Twitter? Silence of the
Nothing that
Lambs.
would fall into my rule book.
Silence of the Lambs.
Okay, well, you're scared of sharks. I'm scared of serial killers for real. So there you go.
And I'm scared of stepping on needles. There we go.
Okay, so where are you at for number? Where are we? 3, 4?
4.
Four. My number 4 is Sharknado.
Oh my God.
I know you're kidding.
I'm
I know.
going with Deborah on this one. I think I'm going with both you guys, or maybe it's just Jeremy. Conjuring, the whole universe.
Yes.
I mean, there were a lot of
Okay.
duds. I wasn't very big on La Llorona or The Nun. The Devil Made Me Do It wasn't that great. Annabelle Creation was like super fast paced, right? Like as soon as they get off that bus, it's just nonstop hitting. But I think my favorite would be 2019's Annabelle Comes Home. And that has sort of a similar vibe. I mean, it's set in the same time period as the Ouija Origins of Evil movie. And it's just like they do such a good job of getting you to know the characters before the stuff happens, and then a lot of stuff happens. So that's definitely, I mean, it's kid, family, scary, friendly movies. I liked it. It was good. But that is my number 4.
Enough. No protesting that one. It fits.
No, I can't. I'm in the middle of a podcast.
See, he can't protest either. He's in the middle of podcasting.
You win this round.
Winning. Jeremy, it's on you. Number 4.
All right. Well, sorry. My dog was whining. I was trying to get my wife to take her out, but before she poops in her cage, I have to clean it up. But because that's a real hard movie right there. But my number 4, and I'm not sure what year it came out. I think I want to say it's 2006, 2008, but it's Rob Zombie's first Halloween movie he did.
Okay. 1,000 Dead Corpses?
No.
You finished it.
No, it's his first Halloween movie he did when he remade Halloween.
Oh, okay. I know what you're saying.
And I love it because it actually gives the backstory of Michael Myers as a kid and his first kills and everything before he becomes an adult and becomes the Michael Myers everybody knows and loves. So I love it because I like the kid, the actor who played the kid did such a good job at playing like a sadistic kid. So it's creepy as hell, and I loved it. And the fact that they show him like graduating from killing animals and like children his age to like murdering his whole family. Besides his baby sister and his mother, but so that's my number 4, and I'm gonna go grab my dog out of the basement while I listen to this. So you guys.
Well, I'll tell you what, Deborah, you got the stage because I'm like 12 beers in too, so I'll be right back. Entertain the audience.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Well, I don't know about everybody that's listening, but I think my list is going the best so far. We'll see if we have any top 3s that I'll conclude together. My number 3, which is what we're at now, is The Witch. And I don't know if everybody's seen this one or not.
Oh, I've seen it. Oh,
I love this one. Shut up. Stop that. You know why I like it? Because it's like from, 1630. And so that's really when people were, they got so paranoid about witchcraft and stuff like that. So it feels like you're just watching a little slice out of another time, and where people really did actually really believe in witches and stuff. And so, and they're so isolated, and I don't know, the way they talk Old English. I don't know. I thought it was good. The goat.
I mean,
come on.
It's good. It's good. And I love the black goat. I forget the name of it, but to me, it just wasn't that good a movie. Like, it was interesting and all, and like I like the concept, but it could be done better.
Yeah. Again, I like the subtle stuff. I don't know, something about that always. gets me more scared, I think, than overt stuff.
Well, while we're waiting for Scott to get done Drain the Lizard, I'll do my number 3 and he can go next.
Okay.
But my number 3 is It Chapter 2 from 2019.
Mhm.
And I'll get more into this
Good.
when I get further down my list. But It Chapter 2 was, I've read Stephen King's It. I saw both movies before I read it because it's a long ass book and I was trying to read them in order. But it is a scary movie. Like, I never seen the 90s version, so I don't want to hear like, oh, that one's better. I can't see how it could be. Freaking, what's his name? Which I had the name earlier today and I got it right. I can't think of it now. Crap. The actor who plays Pennywise is such a good job. Like,
Oh,
he does such a,
yeah.
but so yeah. My number 3 is It Chapter 2 from 2019. And Scott, Deborah's was The Witch.
The
So
Witch.
it's your-
I would have
it's your
thought that would have been her number 1. I haven't seen that yet.
It's pretty
well,
subtle, but I like it because it's old English, and it's I don't know. I like it.
but
How-
you should see it before you think it should be anybody's number 1. But yeah.
Shush.
I haven't seen it. It wouldn't make it to my number 3 either. I just saw a funny if it happened to Redneck one, it was funny. But before I start my number 3, and I gotta rewatch how Deborah kept the audience happy there. That might
I
be our
breaked up my
thumbnail.
list and put yours down. That's what I did.
Okay, so the Pixelated Paranormal, you guys still want to do a show with them?
Yeah.
Do some mashup? I got their top 3. I got some others. We'll do those different, but Paranormal or Pixelated Paranormal. Sean's favorite was Fright Night. Presto's favorite was Dusk Till Dawn, and Steven's favorite was Hereditary, which I told you on all the freaking videos I did. Most people picked Hereditary, which I don't remember. Do you remember Hereditary, Jeremy?
Yeah, I watched it a couple weeks ago to a month ago for the horror bracket I'm on. And
So you watched it new. Was it good?
I didn't think so. It was all over the place. Like, and the whole movie could have been avoided if they brought an EpiPen for the damn kid.
Okay.
Spoiler.
Well, like, you didn't remember it either, right?
I didn't remember it, so
Yeah, I know. We own it, and we bought it not that long ago, within a year. So it wasn't.
I mean,
couldn't have been that good.
And I
Not
mean,
to
the
put
one,
anybody's favorite
the one
movie down.
the one scene where the mom like chases the son to the attic and she's like hanging upside down on the ag door, banging her head against the freaking ag door. That scene was kind of like, whoa, what the fuck just happened?
I think I might be confusing this one with the Babadook.
Oh, Babadook.
I'm gonna have to rewatch him.
Oh, Babadook. That was in my horror bracket today too, on my horror movie bracket one. You can listen to that on Halloween, but the Babadook is fucking horrible. I hated that movie. It was so boring.
We
I've
were
never seen
excited
it.
about both of them, but yeah, I don't remember both of them. So
No,
I don't know.
Babadook was so boring.
my number
But-
3 is probably not going to be a favorite of either of you. Maybe, hopefully it is. 2001's Jeepers Creepers.
Never seen it.
Oh,
Yeah, I
come
couldn't
on.
remember that either. I was talking to some other people today, and I can't remember it.
I would never.
This-
I know the storyline because Supernatural did it. One of the first episodes. One of the first episodes of Supernatural is like the same storyline, but it's. I mean, it's scary. I mean, I remember seeing I remember my family watching when I was a kid, and like I left the room like a couple minutes in, and I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Nostalgia purposes, this was like the horror movie the same time American Pie came out, right?
Yeah.
But it was set in the 70s, and it was just, I mean, it was good. You got to know the characters. You were just like entrenched in the movie, and the monster is like this weird, sadistic, like serial killer type of crazy with comedic humor added in. So the first time I saw it was on TV, like a third of the way through with commercials, but it's a must watch every year. I wish I could see it all the way through without ever seeing it before. Definitely my number 3.
I
You
can
guys
respect
both
it.
need to watch that.
I will eventually,
Okay.
dude. You kidding me? I had to watch one like Nightmare on Elm Street movie for this bracket, and I'm like, now I
You're
gotta
only
go back.
2 years younger than me, dude. This will hit you.
I hated horror movies for the longest time, and I'll get to
It's-
that more in my number 2. But Deborah, what's your number 2?
Comedic value. Just saying.
Well, my number 2, honestly, I had a hard time. Number 2 and number 1 are
Yeah.
pretty much even because I love this one. Honestly, I thought it was pretty good. So my number 2 is Sinister.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah, I
think
don't know 4.
I had to watch. I think I had to watch it for the bracket, but I'm not sure. What the hell, Sister? Oh wait, did I
It was
watch that?
with the same lady from the other ones we were talking about.
Vera Farmiga's gonna watch it, but
It's the author, and he buys a house, and he hasn't had a hit book
Oh.
for a while, and the house, yeah.
It's the
Okay.
second one with the guy from Conjuring, right? The first one's Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, the first one, and that's the one I like, is the first one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that one got a little too depressing for me. That's why it didn't make it on the list.
Yeah.
A little depressing. But that's me. My wife loved that style of movies. So.
I'm trying to look.
I
I'm
get
trying to look. I'm looking at the list now, see what was on the list, because I don't remember it being on the
You-
list. But
You should definitely
Wait.
remember Sinister. That's a pretty big one.
Yeah, you should watch it if you
No.
don't remember it. It's pretty
Well,
good.
according to Rotten Tomatoes, it wasn't in the top 100 horror
Oh,
movies.
fuck
Oh,
Rotten
never.
Tomatoes.
They don't know anything.
Oh, yeah, I agree 100%. Fuck Rotten Tomatoes, because they put foreign movies on there like Demon that are all, you have to read subtitles the whole time, and I was like, come on.
Some of the subtitle movies are good, but we watched this one movie, man, that they had a literal 100%, and my kids call it the Duck Lady movie. It is just nonsense of a lady moving from a living room to the basement to the kitchen table. It's a horror movie, and it's just like the only horror element is you wanting to shoot yourself in the fucking face for the movie to be done. Fuck Rotten Tomatoes.
Well,
Unless they want to sponsor the show,
Yeah, right, yeah.
you can contact
We're gonna
us
be
at
on the list, you understand, right?
globalstrangeness@gmail.com.
but
Okay, Jeremy, we're on you.
my number 2 was the
Oh,
movie.
wait.
Oh, yeah, Scott
Yeah,
goes
you
first.
go.
Sorry.
No. I skipped order. You go. Go number 2.
Well, we changed the order while you were doing the lizard, but
That doesn't matter. I don't have the videos pulled up. Deborah's still number 1, so go for your number 2.
well, you still got to do your number 2, Scott.
Not it.
All right, fine. I have no problem with that, because my number 2 is the movie the first horror movie I ever saw that scared the shit out of me as a kid, and it's Friday the 13th Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan.
I haven't seen that one, but I'm gonna have to watch it just for you.
Because
8.
it takes place. It starts off on a cruise ship outside the harbor of New Jersey, New York, and it ends up finishing in Manhattan, which I lived 2 hours. I lived 2 hours north of Manhattan growing up, so I saw this movie when I was in the 8th grade, and it scared the shit out of me, or maybe even 6th grade, but I loved it. It scared. I literally would go to bed at night and like look out one of my bedroom windows, and I would think that like Jason was. I would see a hockey mask outside my window. So it scared the shit out of me, and I've watched it multiple times since then. It doesn't scare me anymore because I love Friday the 13th is my favorite slasher series ever. Like Jason is better than Freddy and Michael and Chucky and all that to me.
Yeah.
The only person that hasn't beat that could be considered a slasher in my mind is Pennywise, and Pennywise isn't really a slasher. He's more of a psychological fucker. But
An
Yeah.
alien blob if we get back to the first one.
Yep.
But
if you get back to the book, he's an alien. It's an alien always, no matter what you're in. Every movie, it's an alien. And Friday the 13th Part 8 was just, and plus the scene where the black kid is thinking like he's like a boxer, he thinks he's the toughest thing in the world, and he's on a rooftop facing Jason, and he punches Jason in the face like 5 times in a row, and Jason just looks at him and punches his head off. Like it's and like his head flies and hits the top of a trash can at street level, where like his friends are running by and they see his head hit the trash can. Like it's just such a classic scene in a freaking slasher movie. That and the part where Jason's walking down the street and this kid's playing a boombox like next to the subway entrance as Jason's chasing them down in the subway, and like Jason breaks the kid, like looks at the kid's boombox and smashes it to the ground, and the kid's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And Jason lifts up his mask, and the kid's like silenced and like scared shitless, and like
Yeah.
Jason puts out his mask and keeps walking. Like I freaking love that shit. So that's my number 2 because it's the best Friday the 13th movie besides Freddy vs. Jason, but I don't count that as a Friday the 13th movie.
Can't argue with the first movie that scared you.
That's right. Nothing beats that. Good
Yeah.
shit scary. Yeah.
That goes hand down. My number 2 is, it would have been my number 1. This was the first movie. So when we were living in our motorhome, my wife was pregnant. We were having our first kid. It wasn't our first Halloween together, but it was when we started celebrating Halloween time together. We watched this movie, and every year we try to watch it outside carving pumpkins on Halloween since then. But we moved to Utah. It snows out here, so we moved it in the garage now. But it's 2003's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Jeremy, I'm pretty sure that went to you. This, not a big slasher fan. This one's suspenseful all the way through. I don't know. We've been watching it like 15, 16 years now, and it never gets old. And the second one, which we got about 5 or 6 years ago, is just as good. So
Yeah,
it's a classic. Yep.
I'm pretty sure that is the remake I was talking about, but
that
I don't
was the
remember.
remake. Jessica Biel and the guy from Full Metal Jacket.
and Saving Silverman, which came out in 2001, so that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it was hands down amazing. I love that friggin' movie.
All right, well, if you want to do number ones next, Deborah is first.
Well, do you want to do your how am I going to do this? Okay, so
I say
Let's
we
just play
say
the
it-
trailers.
No. I say we say it first, then you play the trailers.
either way I can, because I'm not paying YouTube $10 a month, so I can skip ads. So
Oh,
we'll go through. Jeremy, you're going number 2. What can you text over the number 2 real quick before? Does anybody have any runners up? Mine
you mean
is,
number one? You mean number
no,
one?
no, yeah, text
We
me
did-
over your number 1. Don't
Oh, I
tell
did
the
already.
audience.
I already did, dude.
Okay, let me look. This is wrong.
Hold on,
text.
here. I got it.
Does anybody have any runner up? Okay, I'll look for that. Do you know, did it come out in the same? I'll look for it. I'll text you if we don't get it up. So let's share this screen, and we are going straight into Deborah's. Okay, there we go. Okay, we got hers loaded
What do you
without
know?
trailers. Let me share this, and then you can talk about why afterwards with sound, Share sound. Okay, here it goes.
God, were people really murdered here?
Bloody and cold.
Say Charlie.
Charlie!
Come on, LA for 2 nights and then Coachella, right?
Satanic tourism, I have to take this seriously?
Cheer up, okay? Swear St. Luke's.
Double face.
The hell
Room
movie is this?
204.
This is Lainey Gore's room.
Who the hell's Laney Gore? One of the early sisters of LaVey's Church of Satan. Slit her throat here.
What? You guys really want to stay here?
Yeah.
All right, I made
Laney Gore. Laney Gore.
I feel Lainey.
What?
Can reach her. What do you mean?
She means she can summon, right?
I just need willing others to help me.
Satanas Lucifer justite justite, et Satanas quae suffitot Lucifer illumine. And these of earth be here with me, and now we travel from flame to flame. I'll see you soon.
What the hell was that? Maybe we should just blow this whole thing off and go to Coachella.
She said she would be the first and the rest would be summoned.
Oh my god.
Something happened in that hotel room and it's still happening now. What is happening?
Don't you see? We all made the choice.
Welcome to La La Land, darling.
So I have never seen that movie,
Recording on Zoom?
and we're not recording on Zoom.
So yeah,
What-
so I picked that one because it plays into all my, Catholic upbringing, messing around with stuff, having fun, just thinking you're fooling around with it. And then there's, the dark, serious side to it, to getting sucked in. So yeah, it did it.
I never heard of that movie or seen it, but I have to watch it now. That looked like a good horror movie.
It's good, yeah. And it's funny because it, wasn't really like super mainstream or whatever. And I thought it was really good. So
Yeah, it looks pretty crazy on the trailer.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I'm looking up Jeremy's. Yours is not coming up, dude.
It should. So hold on. Let me give you a hint. This might help you find it better.
Jeremy's typing. I can't see what's going on. That one
There you
looks
go.
pretty good though, Deborah.
There
yeah,
you go.
yeah.
Okay.
So put it on your list for this week.
Oh, I'm being dumb. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, but yeah, my
Yeah.
wife, who is a horror movie expert, has never heard of it either.
What am I
so
doing?
Oh, seriously? You guys got to watch it this week because I liked it. It was really good.
we'll watch it. We'll watch it at some point. If it's wait a minute, it's on any streaming services. That's what matters. Actually, no, it doesn't. I have a Magic device, but
Magnet movies have to be on some sort of streaming service.
no, well, it's I mean, October's almost over, so it might not. Oh, it's on Hulu. It's on Hulu apparently, but sit down, you nut. It's
Okay,
it's on
cool.
it's on Hulu, so you can watch it on Hulu. That's good. I
There you
have
go.
Hulu.
Okay.
All our
Yeah, no,
viewers,
we
watch
have
that one.
Hulu. What was? Well, you already said that because you fooled around with that stuff. You're trying to curse me and Jeremy through the computer. You moved on to bigger and better things. No more Ouija boards. You're trying to go straight through Zoom.
Why is she trying to curse us? We made her a podcast star.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're my
Maybe
ticket
not.
to fortune, fame and fortune. So I'll keep you around. It's okay.
I already had.
I didn't believe a minute
I
of
was already on.
that.
I was already on 4 shows before that, so.
Yeah. Okay, so
Okay.
who's next? Who's number one who's
Jeremy's-
going to top mine?
Jeremy's next. I already sat through the commercials on YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. Do not pay the $10 a month.
I used to, but now I use Spotify instead, so I pay for that $5 a month.
My wife does. I refuse.
Of course you
Okay.
do.
Screen share. It's corporate America. That's the real scary story, right? Corporate America sticking it to the man. Okay, here we go. Oh, already gave it away.
Yeah, well, that
When
first
you're a
shot
kid.
gives their ways.
You think the universe revolves around you. You think that you'll always be protected and cared for. Then, one day, you realize that's not true. Because when you're alone as a kid, the monsters see you as weaker. You don't even know they're getting closer. Till it's too late. Here. Take it.
My grandfather thinks this town is cursed.
that all the bad things that happen in this town are because of one thing. An evil thing.
Heck, stop.
Bill, if you'll come with me, you'll float too.
George. I saw something.
The clown. Yeah, I saw him too. You'll float too.
What happens when another Georgie goes missing? Or one of us?
You'll float too.
Are you just gonna pretend it isn't happening like everyone else in this town? If we stick together, we'll win.
September 8th, and you guys will get to see that.
Yeah, minus 4 years, but yeah, or minus 5 years at this point. But yeah, and the reason that it is my number one horror movie is because it's the first horror movie I saw in theaters actually, and because
Wow.
Really?
I was not a fan of horror movies my whole life until that movie, because that trailer, like my cousin and his daughter, my cousin's husband and his daughter wanted to go see it, so I was like, all right, let's go see it. So. But
You
I mean,
never,
it's just,
you never saw Scream or I Know What You Did Last Summer or any of those?
no, I never wanted to see any of those. They all look stupid. But and Scary Movie did a better job of those two franchises in the first movie than they ever did. But and I mean, it literally that movie literally had me jumping out of my seat in the movie theater the whole way home. I'm looking behind my car thinking there's going to be a killer clown on my back seat or chasing my car. And then when I get home, my mom's asleep. I live with my mom at that point still, and my mom's asleep, and I'm gonna have to go upstairs in the condo, and all lights are out. I am looking around every corner, thinking I see things moving and everything. Like, it just, that movie terrified me. Like, I had to lock my bedroom door for nights after seeing that movie, because it just, even as a 28, 29-year-old, what the hell was at that point, like, the thought of an alien that could do that is reality almost to me, because I'm sure there's aliens on Earth that can shapeshift. I'm sure of it. So the fact that it could be real.
That's a good reaction to a movie.
It's the fact that it could be real. It's not like, I mean, all Scream is, and all I Know What You Did Last Summer is people in masks. I'm not scared of that. I'm scared of an alien that could shapeshift and possibly follow me and kill me by fear. So yeah. So
okay. Well, yeah, no. My wife loved that movie.
And I saw
A lot
chapter
of people
2.
did.
I saw chapter 2, which was my now wife. 2 years later, we got her dad to watch the kids, and we went and saw it, and we were holding hands in one of those theaters with the recliner seats, and we both were jumping in number 2 at the same time while holding hands. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man.
So it's the memories.
And
the memories play a big role.
It's the only horror movie that ever made me jump. That's the thing. I mean, yes, Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, but that's because I was a kid and I was stupid. But I never saw the 90s It with Tim Curry. I never saw that one because I can't find it on even my Magic device. I can't find a version of it that works. But it's still, I gotta see that someday. But I mean, Tim Curry's version looks so.
Don't even worry. Don't worry.
I'm not.
It might ruin something for you, my friend.
I know, because Tim's Curry version looks like, I mean, people say it's more scary because it looks like a freaking like regular house clown that you'd see at a party. But
my wife made me watch that one before we watched the one you just showed the trailer for. Even the kids at that point were like,
yeah. No, I agree.
I mean, well,
don't.
Don't watch it.
It scared the shit out of my wife when she was a kid because she was afraid to take a shower without someone in the room because of that TV show miniseries.
Keyword words. Let's not pull a Joe Biden. When she was a kid.
Exactly. I mean,
don't do it again. Just don't watch it. You saved yourself already. Your scariest movie.
90s it scared a lot of kids though. It did. It made a lot of kids scared of clowns.
Yeah.
In tube TVs with commercials, then seen.
Yeah.
Go before you watch the 90s it, go back and watch Hills Have Eyes from 1977.
I'm good on that.
Tell me.
Okay.
Okay.
70s horror. And actually, okay, I will say this. I do have an honorable mention because it's I have an honorable mention
Yeah.
because I just thought of it, and it's not even that scary, but it's just it has a lot of nudity, so I like it. And it's the original Wicker Man from the 70s with Christopher Lee.
I don't know if I know that one.
Surprised nobody. Well, god damn it! What is the one with the kids?
They did Children of the Corn?
Halloween Tree. Man, come on! Nobody did Halloween Tree.
Halloween Tree? I never heard of it.
Oh
Yeah, me either.
man, you definitely watched it.
Oh, wait a
in
minute.
school.
Wait a minute.
The
Halloween-
book is so much
Are you-
more
Are you saying tree or three?
tree.
Okay.
Halloween
I'm like,
Tree
you're not-
is a kids cartoon from the 90s. The book was written in the early 80s. Way more sexist. There are no
I mean-
women in the 1980s book.
Well, I mean, if we're going to talk cartoons, we're talking about this Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Come on now.
The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Come on, you guys.
That was a
It's
good
not
one.
scary.
Yeah, we watched it.
It's a good movie, but it's not really a horror movie. It's
He's scared.
you know the greatest thing about the
That's
Legend of Sleepy Hollow book is the way they describe the food in the first chapter. It makes you hungry. The first chapter of that book. That's all it does.
I like
we
in the
actually
cartoon when he's dancing and that stout lady gets a hold of him. He's trying to get away from her and get to the pretty girl. That always
Oh,
makes my kids laugh so much.
You mean in the Adventures of Mr. Toad and Ichabod Crane?
Yeah, the cartoon version of Sleepy Hollow. Yeah,
Yeah, the Disney version.
yeah.
Did you guys ever see Spooky the Square Pumpkin?
No,
No?
never heard of it.
Yeah, my kids were young a long time ago. That was like beginning of computer generation cartoons.
Oh, I
You
lived
don't
through
have
that
to
era,
watch
but-
it. Okay, getting to my number one pick here. Share the screen. I shared the screen for yours, right?
Yeah, of course.
You guys got to see it. Okay, we're still sharing sound. Now I wish I could go
Oh.
back and see this movie for the first time ever.
Oh man. My wife loves the video games. I'm not a fan.
My wife did too.
Sometimes you talk about a place.
That
This
will.
movie, epic.
So we're gonna go there, so you can remember.
It's Scott's number one movie ever.
My family's from Pennsylvania too, man. That's like makes sense status.
Sharon! Sharon! Somebody! Help!
What, Hunter Harless? No. It wasn't the top 100 Rotten Tomatoes either. My wife keeps asking me, it's like, did Resident Evil make anybody's list? And I'm like,
No, this is not Resident Evil.
no. I know that, but she's asking. I told her it's Silent Hill. When I said it's was one of her favorite video games, she's like, "Oh, Resident Evil." I'm like, "No, Silent Hill."
Tell her it's an action movie. That's not a
started 30 years ago.
an all year round movie.
I don't know what's happening. Do you know what's going on here?
This place is completely cut off.
Only the Dark One opens and closes the door to Silent Hill.
Where is she? I'm trying to find my wife.
She looks exactly like Sharon.
Why? Rose, come on! Rose, hurry! It's coming!
What's happening?
Oh!
To find your
This
daughter, you
right.
must face the darkness of hell.
It's okay, baby. Mommy's coming.
I never when Silent Hill came out, like when I was graduating high school, but like, oh, you know what I forgot, but it's not really a horror movie. Well, they are horror movies, but I completely
Hold
forgot
on,
about
I can't
Saw.
hear you. I got ads. Fuck YouTube. Okay, there we go.
You know what I totally forgot, and I mean they're not really horror movies, but like horror movies, but Saw and Hostel movies.
I had Saw on my list and then I had to take it off because they're kind of freaky.
They're not horror
Someone
movies,
was
though.
good.
They're-
It's like
No,
torture
Saw-
porn. It's
Yeah.
torture porn.
it's torture porn, but Saw 3 is the best, and Hostel 2 is the best.
I saw both of the Hostels. I only saw Saw 2, but the Hostels too. That's like torture porn.
Well, no, it's funny though, because Chancey, who you met tonight, Scott, like he gets so pissed off when people say Saw is a good horror movie because he's like, I was saying in that whole movie while I was watching it in the theater, I'm like, oh, if that motherfucker who's supposed to be dead sits up at the end of the movie, I'm gonna be so pissed. And then at the end
Some
of the
dude
movie,
with about to die from cancer is gonna
yeah.
create
But I
this
mean,
whole maze.
I like Saw 3 though, because it kind of like tells his story, and like I like Saw 3 because it's about saving his life, like it's about saving Jigsaw's life.
I never saw that. What didn't make it on your guys' list other than that? For me, it was not The Grudge, but Ju-on. And like
What movie?
Ju-on, it was the Asian version of The Grudge. It's subtitled and that kind of threw it off. It's way scarier than The Grudge.
I hate The Ring. I hate the Grudge movies. I hate them all. Like they're so stupid.
I think because you're scared. Just a little scared.
The Ring is just a freaking emo girl. That's all it is.
What about Poltergeist? Did anybody think of that one?
I had 20 movies on my list. The
Yeah.
Poltergeist was on there too.
Yeah. It got cut early for me, but
You gotta remember, I made my list like at the beginning of the show in like 5 minutes. So yeah.
right. Yeah.
Which
And,
I
you
did
added an extra 5 movies, so that
Hey,
might have
because
helped.
because when we do it in the bracket, we're allowed to bring 5 honorable mentions. That's why like I'm used to doing that. But
Well, these
and
are your
I'm-
honorable mention time.
but I mean, I could have brought any of Rob Zombie's trilogy of House of a Thousand Corpses or Nothing from Hell. The hell's the middle one again? I'm
There,
really-
what was that show that's called Mother? I think it's called Mother. That was pretty good.
What?
The show?
The movie
the
called
middle one?
Mother.
I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to look at
Oh, yeah,
what's I spit all over my top 20 list here.
Devil's Rejects. That's what I'm trying to think of. Like House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects are okay. They're not great horror movies, but
I had
they're okay.
Candyman. Candyman was on my list too.
I hate the original Candyman. I just watched it for the first time. It was
Oh,
horrible.
come on, dude.
I want to see the remake Jordan Peele did, but
The remake was pretty good. It was a little woke.
well, everything Jordan Peele does is woke. He's pretty woke. But
What's
mean-
the name of the movie where it's like a demonic thing, but it jumps from person to person? Is it called Devil or something like that?
are you talking about The Thing?
No. It's
Wow.
called. I think it's called. I can't remember what it's called.
I mean, there's a horrible movie called Demon that takes place in like Poland or something or Sweden, and it's like a subtitle movie that you have to like read subtitles. But it's about a groom who gets possessed on his wedding day. Which I mean, that's what happens on your wedding day anyway. So why fight it?
That in your show we did before this, that guy talking about rubber, I have been trying to ask my wife to watch that movie since we could
Oh,
rent it
Kevin.
on Redbox 15 years ago, man. A
Which one is
tire
it?
that kills. It's rubber. It's about a tire that kills people in the Mojave Desert. That's where we're from. Now we don't live there anymore, so I can't use that as a saving grace, you know. But it's where
That's
we're
funny.
it's where we're from. What is the worst horror movie you guys have ever seen?
The worst? Oh gosh.
Besides
worst.
Besides The Ring and the Grudge.
Oh, come on. You had to hear some worse ones than that.
I'm not a horror movie fan to begin with, but I mean, actually, okay, no, worst horror movie I ever saw. I could tell you that right now, actually. Oh, Nope. Jordan. Okay, my wife said Devils Do, but I say Jordan Peele's third movie, Nope. One of the worst horror movies I've ever freaking seen, with one of the worst alien designs I've ever fucking seen in any movie. I'll give it away a spoiler because the movie's freaking horrible. The alien literally looks like a blanket flying in the sky with a mouth.
I've never seen that one. I saw the
It looks like-
Notebook. That's like an anime.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
No, it's called Nope. It's Jordan Peele's third movie. I mean, it's like about this brother and sister who run a ranch, and like all of a sudden, like they start losing power, so they hire a guy to set up cameras in their house, and they catch this alien thing. It's like a stingray / blanket looking thing flying in the sky, and basically it comes down and opens up, and like it sucks everything up like a hurricane, and it spits it back out, or it eats part of it. Like, it's just one of the stupidest movies I've ever seen in my life. And I will say Fright Night was pretty fucking horrible too. I had to watch that. That was horrible. Fright Night was horrible, and Lost Boys is just stupid. That movie was only popular because it's got the Corey
Oh.
Triggers in it.
I was gonna say you can't do that. No. Boo.
Me and Deborah were talking about, I think before you got on there, was The Visit. And I didn't put it on my list because it goes against my rules. I think you didn't well, I don't know why you didn't put it
in,
on there.
but I thought it was good.
It
it's a
is
decent movie.
very good. It's scary.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't like thrasher movies, monster movies, zombie movies, any type of paranormal movies, that is a good scary movie to watch for Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah,
That-
I agree. I think it's good.
That one's legit scary. Have you seen that one yet, Jeremy?
Which one?
The Visit?
The Visit?
Yeah.
I never heard of it.
Yeah.
Well, you got to
Put
check
that on
that
your
one
list
out.
this week too. That's a good one too. I think for bad, and people will probably jump on me for this, but Insidious, I loved. Until you see the devil, he's got like the cheapest, dollar store red flannel outfit on.
Okay.
And I just couldn't take it serious anymore.
All right. Well, actually, here's a horror movie that I freaking loved, even though it's only rated 98 on Rotten Tomatoes. I love this movie. It's called Willy's Wonderland.
Oh, give me the Five Nights at Freddy's remake. We had to rent that thing for $20 for my son, and he didn't even like it. Because Nicolas Cage is in the movie does not mean it's good.
No, but see, I love it because it's Nicolas Cage, and it's Nicolas Cage, but he doesn't say one word the whole movie. That's why I love it.
You got to play the Five Nights at Freddy's on the VR, man. That's like that movie was.
No, I don't do VR shit with horror, but I've seen Evil. I've seen the TV show Evil. I'm good on that, but.
Did you see it, Deborah?
No, I've never seen that.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Nicolas Cage came out with like 20 movies in the past 2 years.
I know, but no, Willy's Wonderland is awesome because it's just Nicolas Cage beating the shit out of demon possessed automatrons like a Chuck E. Cheese ripoff.
It would have been good for free with ads. It was not good if you had to pay $20. I'll put it that way.
Wasn't worth it now.
No.
Did anybody like The Nun enough to have them on the list? Like, it was part of your series, right, Jeremy, or whatever, but
Well, it was part of my Conjuring list, like the Nun
okay,
and
that was
La Llorona. I think La Llorona was the crappier one out of
yeah, I
all
think so
of the
too.
Conjuring list. But the Nun, the movie itself wasn't scary. They have, if anybody watching has a
The Nun in
an
Conjuring 2
Oculus.
was, dude. The Nun in Conjuring 2 was freaking scary as hell seeing her.
The movie itself was not. But there are some things you can do in VR where it is freaky as hell. Like the Nun is a great character poor execution on the movie.
Okay, I
thought.
could see it. I didn't see it, so I can believe that easily. But I will say, yeah, I mean,
Did you see it, Deborah? You saw it, right?
I saw it. I saw it in the theater actually, and it was. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I didn't.
It was
wasn't the
pretty
best.
slow.
Yeah, there's a few, a few kind of dumb things, but yeah, it was not. It
And
wasn't
they-
the scariest thing I've ever seen. So
They
But, I
tried
mean,
to throw that love interest thing in there, and it just like it did not work for the friggin' movie. Like I didn't think.
yeah, trying to
Well,
think. So what's
okay.
your worst? What's the most horrible?
Well,
I
we
can
got-
give you a list.
quite a few viewers in here, and I know my wife is watching, but Evil Dead.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. The first one?
Yeah, the first one.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
the
agree.
first one.
But besides the scene
And
where the
Army
woman
of
be-
Darkness. And
Oh, fuck
every
you.
other.
Oh, fuck you.
And every other fucking movie that came afterwards.
No.
And that
no,
even
no,
breaks my zombie rule.
No. Evil Dead 1 is trash because the only scene that's even close to good and funny is when the woman gets raped by the tree. But Evil Dead 2 is amazing because all Evil Dead 1 is screaming. But Evil Dead 2 is good, and Army of Darkness is the best out of all those movies because of the freaking comedy in that movie. The skeletons playing themselves as they march into battle, like the freaking the fight with Bruce Campbell and the evil warlock, like it's just amazing. I love Army of Darkness. Like I got introduced to that in college, and we watched Evil Dead 2 first, then Army of Darkness, and I never saw the original for a long time. And the original Evil Dead is freaking horrible. I hate it. But I do love the TV show though, Ash vs. Evil Dead. I will say that.
I don't know if my wife started watching that one yet, but oh
They
Jesus, we
did.
got Twitch. We got Twitch comments. I am not a butthead.
What? Scott's not getting any tonight. But
I didn't. Jeremy said.
Is that your wife?
Evil
That's your
Dead.
comment?
Jeremy said Evil Dead. It was on him.
no, you said Evil Dead first. Shut your mouth. But
So we
But,
have
okay.
some people on there. Who do they think is the best out of the three picks?
We got four people up there. What did
Out of our
I don't
three,
know, we've
number
had
one
people-
wins the prize here tonight.
we've had people in and out all night. Once we start talking about them, they drop off.
Oh no.
Does anybody have their favorite scary movie out of the list we did?
all right, well, I will give an honorable mention to They Live as well, because Roddy Piper.
They Live. That sounds familiar.
88. It was Roddy Piper and Keith David.
No idea who those people are.
You don't know who Roddy Piper is, the wrestler?
It's a wrestler, yeah.
Was not a wrestling guy.
It's the movie where he wears a special pair of sunglasses and you can see the alien faces behind the human faces. Like it's more comedy than horror, but I'll throw it out for Roddy Piper any day of the week. and A Quiet Place. I like A Quiet Place. People are trying to hate on it, but I like A Quiet Place.
I think we own the second one. We just haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen the second one. I only saw the first one so far, but the first one's amazing.
First one was okay. It was good. Watched it.
Oh, and I
the
mean-
others, yeah.
Don't breathe.
Well, what are we doing next week? History?
History of Halloween.
History of
It's-
Halloween. It's Halloween.
and- History of Halloween. History of All Hallows Eve / what the
Samhain?
No, yeah, the Samhain, yeah, the history of All Hallows Eve / Samhain / Mischief Night
Okay.
/ Devil's Night, or whatever it was called. It's getting late, and I already done. This is my third podcast today, so I'm freaking. I had to host the first two, so my mind's gone. But, oh, okay. Honorable mention out to Rosemary's Baby too, because that's a classic horror movie.
That is a classic. That
Never seen
I
it.
was kind of. Oh no, you should see that.
Dude,
That's
oh
classic.
my, no, Scott, that is
Oh. Okay. Yeah, you guys go on. That's a classic.
yeah. No, Rosemary's Baby came out in I think 70 something.
Yeah.
It's 70 something. It's good though. It's a damn good movie, and like it's actually a good horror movie. Like because this woman thinks she's going crazy, but she's not.
It's interesting. It keeps you. Yeah.
And
I concur.
I'll throw it out to American Werewolf in London because that's a good horror movie too. It's a classic. And Cabin in the Woods because it's an amazing horror comedy.
Yeah.
I'm moving my last answer for the worst horror movie of all time to The Shining. The Shining. I don't even know why that it just blanked on me. The Shining, absolutely 100%. Put it away. Everybody on TikTok and YouTube are talking shit. Just get that crap ass 2-hour and 40-minute movie out of your head. It's nonsense until the dog in the costume down by the guy's crotch comes up, and then you're like, oh my god, I'm scared all of a sudden.
What?
Nonsense movie. Nonsense.
Cujo?
No, it was a guy in a literal guy in a
Oh,
dog
The Shining.
costume.
The Shining.
Shining,
Yeah,
yeah.
The Shining. Shining,
and-
absolute worst. I'll end with that. You guys
And-
can go on.
And I actually will throw out another good movie, The Love Witch. It came out in
That-
2018.
Okay,
Oh, I didn't see
you're
that
throwing
one.
out a good.
The Love Witch. It's about a woman who is a witch basically, and like it's all about her like it's basically like it's very third person that she talks about herself like making like love potions and like moving town to town after she kills a guy like to make another love potion and stuff. Like it's got a lot of boobs in it, but it's good.
Never heard of it. Huh.
I never did either till I watched it because it was it's number 63 of the top 100 Rotten Tomatoes horror movies, so that's why I watched it.
We got to get you away from this Rotten Tomatoes nonsense.
Don't blame me. I do not make these rankings. And
Yeah,
and
neither does Rotten Tomatoes. People pay for them.
Yeah, well. And
Okay, I'm gonna
I mean-
end the stream here,
Go
and
ahead.
then
Go
we
ahead.
can talk. Did you get
Well.
goodbye, everybody?
Bye, everybody. Watch the movies. Watch our
We'll see. Yep. Watch our
Every
movies.
one of them.
Yeah.
Every one of them before Halloween.
30
Or
movies
Something
in 7 days. Do it.
something bad. Well, come on, dude. You added like 5 extra ones to it.
I-
Watch every
I-
one of them or something bad's gonna happen.
Well, right there. 35 movies, 7 days, 5 movies a day. There you go.
the challenge. You guys
Well,
can do
dude,
it.
there's like 7 days till Halloween. A lot
I
of
know.
movies a day. Good luck. Stay safe.
Hey, I was
Don't
doing
eat
it
any
for-
fentanyl candy for Halloween.
Oh, but that's the fun candy, Scott.
Okay, live stream ended. Hold up. Let me stop this recording so I don't have to edit
Yeah.
as much.